I'd do the lives earlier and
Oh, yeah.
no one comes in.
Oh, it was a good crowd yesterday.
So I'll do a bowl. Gonna do something else on the bowl that I'm not telling. You have to watch to find out. Have you seen this done before, Robbo?
I've done it before.
Have you? Ah. Go on, get out of here. Go on, go to bed. So I'm not doing any fancy shape. I'm doing a break drum, all right? Just so you know off the bat.
There's no need to. You can do a fancy shape if you want to.
I'd be like that. If you notice, Robbo's dozing off. He's only had an hour's sleep since yesterday, so
Yeah,
you have to yell out, "Wake up, Jeff!"
Yeah, that's right. Wake up, Robbo. Now leave about an inch at the top. Just get it round up near the top of the bowl, but leave an inch round. Don't reduce it in size. Just while you're doing that, Jar, I'll make myself a cup of tea, all right? Right, now flatten that out. That rim around the top there. Just get it down to round, all right?
Yep.
What sort of timber is it?
Oak.
Right.
It's from Sid. It said Australian oak written on it. So.
Oh, yeah.
What'd Steve end up making?
A little, basically a sort of hollow form with a lid
Oh, yeah.
and a finial.
So a box.
Well, yeah, sort of. Still got a little way to go by the look of it.
What do you mean?
Oh, is it round? It looks like there's still a bit of a dark patch on it, that's all. Where it hasn't cut.
I thought it did, but all right.
Right. Okay. Well, if it's round, it's round. Right. Now you got to get your parting tool and make sure it's sharp.
Yep.
Was that the 3mm one that I gave you or not? What width's that? That's the beading parting tool, isn't it?
That's my skew.
No, right. We want a parting tool.
Did you not just say skew?
Eh?
Didn't you just say skew?
No, I said parting tool. You need a parting tool that's sharp. Now, which one have you got? Right, narrow one. Right. Mark 2 lines on there. One about a 1/2 inch down from the top with a pencil.
Yeah.
Then come another 1/2 inch down from there and mark another line.
See that?
Right, yep. Okay, now what you've got to do on the outside of those lines, part in about 10 millimeters or so. and you can't waggle it around. You've just got to part it straight in, all right?
Yep.
On the outside of the lines.
Yep.
Now, you've got a ring tool, haven't you?
Yeah.
Right. Now, just get your gouge,
Yep.
your bowl gouge or your spindle gouge, doesn't matter which one,
Yep.
and just do like a bead on that bit that's left in the centre there between the two lines. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I'll go back to the ball gouge then. I'm going to smash this in a minute. Oh, yeah.
Okay, you got it now?
Yeah, kind of.
Right. Okay, switch the lathe off and drown that.
The little edges there I couldn't get.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take too much of the outside parts off. The wings were hitting it.
No, I know. Yeah. Right. Now get your CA and coat that ring in CA.
Yep. I'll be back in a minute. It's inside.
Okay.
Mm. God, shit. Isn't it? It's matter how much you unstick them and wipe them, they still get stuck. Oh, I'm going to throw this fucking thing in a minute.
Just let that dry off. Now you're going to need your ring tool.
Yep.
And this is where it's going to start getting hairy, all right?
Yep.
Because you've got to get down in that little gap and form the ring.
Yep. Okay.
You've got to leave the sides intact so that the ring's held there.
Yep.
That, I assume, is what you were trying to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I was debating with myself this morning whether to try it on a bowl or a goblet, and I think it would maybe work a bit better on a bowl.
Good day, Neil.
How you going, Neil? I'll do a trial week at this time, and if bugger all people turn up for it, then I'm going back to my normal times. It's even stuffing me around, to be honest.
No, the bowl's not cracked, Neil.
Just gluing some spots in it as a preemptive strike because it's going to get a bit thinner. Yeah. The amount of CA I just put in it, I don't think it's going to crack anytime soon.
Like I said to you before, it's very brittle.
Yeah. Bloody hell, Neil. Now I'm finding cracks. So we only got, it's just ever so gently just hit 20 here in the shed.
Sorry, what's that?
It's just hit 20 here.
Oh, 20 degrees. God, polar weather. You can explain to Neil what you're making.
I'm making a bowl with a captured ring. And the wood is Australian oak. That's as much as I know. I got it from Sid. So you'll have to ask Sid if he's got another name. Ooh, I'd step outside for a bit. It's getting a bit fumigated in here. I got one of my doors closed because it's bloody cold today. Ugh. Any projects you're drawing or designing up now? If a certain somebody seems like he's a bit quieter than normal, it's because he's only had an hour's sleep.
Oh, I'm still awake.
Yeah. On planet Hoo-Ha.
Neil said he's finished those red gum burl bowls and they now have 2 coats of Danish oil.
Nice.
Oh, you might get it right in a minute, Neil.
You got it right the first time.
No, he got 2 costs of Danish oil first.
Oh, yeah. How much does it cost?
Then coats of Fanish.
Jeez. What have you been writing? What's in your self-predict?
No, fat fingers.
Yeah. Or fat thumbs these days. Because they're like this.
Yeah. Now, you just have to take your time, Jay.
Yeah. Well, the tool's a little bit blunt, so I'm kind of hoping that can work to my advantage of not you know, not taking too much off.
You haven't got a honing stone, have you?
I've got a tiny. Where is it? I've got a tiny sharpening stone, but I don't think it's a honing stone though. No,
No.
look.
What is it? Oh, that'll be all right. Yeah. Now, on the flat surfaces, just put a little bit of water or oil or something.
Yeah.
And polish the top and the bottom. And that'll sharpen it, right? You don't sharpen them on a stone or on a wheel or anything.
No, I wasn't going. Oh, sorry, I wasn't gaming.
And don't try and sharpen the bevel or anything. Just backwards and forwards across the top. If you sit it on the tailstock, it's easier.
I've got it on the bed just here.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you keep the stone flat and not round it over.
Yep.
Now, that's a left and a right one, isn't it? You can do both sides with it. Yeah,
Yep.
right. We have to sharpen both sides then.
Yeah, so I'm doing. Oh, that's a lot sharper.
Sorry?
Oh, just mumbling to myself. I said that's a lot sharper.
Well, that's how you sharpen them. Just mute yourself, please, Joe. Up. Bloody hired help, giving orders. No, I couldn't even read it on the phone, Neil.
I have to stand outside my shed for a bit. The super glue is making my eyes water.
Oh, yeah, right here. It's on the side, Neil. It's a captive ring forming tool.
Oh, that's got the super glue beats chilies.
There you go.
There you go, Neil. And it narrows in the center. Cost my wife a whole of like $10, I think, off of AliExpress. It's a cheap way to find out what they're like. Five of them.
Neil says he's got 5 of them.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't own any.
Do you fit one in each hand or what? 5 hands? Like the Indian god, you know?
Yeah, uses both feet as well in his mouth.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Damn, you should do lives. That'd be good spectacle, actually.
Yeah, I reckon even I'd pay to watch that.
So, how much do you sell them for, Neil? Might buy one off you. No.
Now, you've got to get it right out to the side. You actually feed it around the outside of it, all right? Now, he's also got a Hamlet beating tool that can be used. And make sure you don't pull back on the tool and reduce the diameter. You've got to get the maximum diameter you can out of that bead, all right? Yeah, so he mainly used his for bangles and earrings.
Have you put up a picture on Facebook of you wearing them bangles and earrings?
Plus fancy hoop legs. He said, sold them, goose. Starting to get underneath today, Jay?
I killed the shape.
Why? How?
Other side of the tool.
Sorry? No, don't worry about the edges.
This side of the tool got the top of the ring.
Yeah, well, that'll be fair enough too. But you want to have that part at the top of the ring. I made the ring a little bit wider than what that is big anyway, so you're going to have to scrape it a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's not a round ring anymore. Let's put it that way. I might put some more glue down inside it though.
Yeah, I think that timber might be very brittle, so
Yeah, it's got lots of cracks.
yeah. Oh well, put some more glue on it then. Yeah, you cut inside the circle, Neil. You use the tip to get it down around the outside underneath to undercut it, and then the circle part starts making the ring. Telephone.
Yeah.
Good day, Charlie. Hello.
Bloody coffee drying out last night and it bloody rained, didn't it? I was looking at how to put a bandsaw blade on it. It's actually quite easy for the Ryobi.
Yeah. Your initial cut, Neil, if you can see that, is done where that black point is there. Then once it gets in, you start cutting further and further down the ring here until you get that ring shape into it. At least that's the way I've always done it. Oh, sorry. So you start the initial cut there with that tip, and then it slowly works its way up into that curved bit there. So you get a nice curved round over in it. you've got to move the tool from side to side to like rotate it around its centre.
Getting a bit touched out with glue fumes for my liking. Put my
Sorry?
fan on. I just put my fan on for a little while to try and blow out some of the glue fumes.
Yeah, right here. Jeez, I thought you were taking off in it.
Yeah, I hope I would one day, you know. Bloody smells. Be high as a kite, this stuff. For all the wrong reasons. Is that a word, or did he misspell that? Lieu.
No, he actually got that one right.
What's that?
It means so you cut with the side instead of the tip. You could have put instead there, but he put in lieu.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do the until it gets nearly always formed, and then you've got to use the whole virtual curve of it. That's if you want a perfectly round one, anyway. So I think we're both on the same idea, Neil.
I'm glad you two are.
And it's got to be used like a scraper with it facing downhill. But not much. That one's got an angle tip on it anyway, so you can actually virtually keep the handle level. Well, here comes the train.
There goes the train.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean, Neil. No, this one's completely circular, so... Most of the time, I just use a sharpened Allen key for the ones that I've ever done. Held in a pair of vice grips.
If you're in a group chat, would it not make sense to maybe scroll up the chat and see? No?
What?
Nothing. Just Jeff's asked if I'm going live today.
Sorry?
Jeff asked if I'm going live today. I put the link in the group.
Oh. I thought you were talking about the chat in StreamYard. I thought I haven't missed anything. Yeah, you're right. Allen keys are good steel, most of them. Even the cheap ones. And I've even used a ring spanner on one occasion where I ground out the inside of the ring spanner and cut a corner out of it.
Oh, we've got a group set up. All the regulars that come into the voice part of the chat, Neil. So, and I posted in there. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, on the Facebook page. Yeah, it's good steel in some spanners too. But it wouldn't matter if you got a cheap Chinese one and did it with it for a one-off job. Come in.
Funny you heard that. I was outside the shed tapping this piece of wood on the ground so I get all the coffee shavings off of it. With my next secret project on there. See, look. Just trying to take the smell down. It's kind of getting to me at the moment. How you going?
G'day, Dr. Bob.
Yeah, I missed a notice about when we were going live, so I just got thinking it should be about that time.
Put the link in the chat an hour ago.
Yeah.
Start the lives early for others' benefit and they don't show up. Great.
Well, somewhere I've got to make an adjustment in my phone because I normally have it set when you go live online, it notifies me. But since I got a new phone, so many of the, it's not a new phone, but for some reason with the update, it's not happening.
Geez, Neil, you're getting a bit conchy, aren't you, cleaning up? When's the next Detroit Woodturners meeting? Next weekend? Next Saturday, is it, Bob?
Yeah. Sunday. We kind of share the weekend with the Grand Rapids Club, which is about the other side of the state.
Yeah.
And they do as we do. They have a lot of other members belong to it from that part of the state.
Oh, when I saw the hybrid, Neil, I knew what you were on about. It's the same with me. Like when we turn treated pine, we clean up everything first, and then treated pine goes into a separate place.
So how's your day been, Robo?
I haven't had any sleep since yesterday, so I was a guest earworm on Steve SK Crafts at 5 o'clock this morning, so it wasn't worth going to bed.
Yeah, I noticed, and then you also were there for Wayne, weren't you? Attended?
Yeah, I was at Wayne's live, yeah, but not an earworm.
No, I know that. I watched Wayne when I was having breakfast in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's lunch for them, and just the sun's coming up here for breakfast. Though that's shifting as we are now.
Yeah, well, that's because we've gone back an hour and they've come forward an hour, so that's 2 hours at least. They're live lunchtime lives now on at a sensible time for us at 10 o'clock at night instead of midnight.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is that we're also getting the sun's coming up earlier for us as it moves. You know, the sun doesn't move, the earth moves, but the effect is it moves north.
No, it doesn't. The sun rotates around our flat planet. You know that.
I know, but in essence, when you look at it, the sun, it's the planet that's doing because of the angle of the planet, but the sun comes up earlier.
I was having a go at all the flat earthers, Bob.
Oh.
They think the sun goes around the earth, not the other way around.
There are still people that believe that, and I
know.
I could see that in the middle of nowhere on a continent, but so where is Kangaroo Island?
Kangaroo Island is off the coast of South Australia. Down south in, not sure whether it's the Southern Ocean there or Bass Strait. I think it's the Southern Ocean.
Okay.
Very popular tourist destination. Well, it was. There were quite a few resorts and things down there until last year. It got badly damaged by fire, burnt quite a lot of the resorts out and everything else down there. Over 2/3 of the island was up in flames.
Wow. From some idiot or natural?
I'm not sure on that one. I've got an idea that it was a lightning strike.
Now, there are those that'll say that it must have been wicked and evil, and God sent a bolt of lightning to teach the people a lesson. I've known a few people like that.
If that was the case, I couldn't walk out the door. Well, isn't that glue dry yet, Jay?
Oh, is that a sweatshirt on Jay? It's cold enough to wear a sweatshirt?
Yes. It's 20 degrees in his workshop this morning.
Oh.
Well, it's just reached 20.
It seems like only last month he was complaining about the heat.
Yeah, we'll start whinging about the cold now.
Time flies with COVID.
Yeah. I'm the same. It's cool in here this morning too. I've actually got the heater on in the office.
For me, it was the first day that I haven't fired the heater up in my shop. It was actually hot enough to just wear a smock out there.
Yeah.
Turning smock.
Now, just as I came back into the shed, there was someone else in the waiting room, and I went to let them in, and they disappeared. I didn't get to see who it was. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they come back now.
Good morning, Jeff.
Hello there. How are you?
All right. Did you find the link all right? Well, you must have.
I did. Yeah. I got no camera, though.
Is it a bit dark at your house today?
What's that?
Is it a bit dark at your house today?
Well, you'd think so by this image.
Yeah. Working on Braille, are you?
Yeah. Let me try. Okay. Camera. HD webcam fixed.
Sometimes if it doesn't come on, unfortunately, you've got to close StreamYard down and reset it.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Come on, Neil.
Is it still raining? Is it still raining up there, Neil? Yeah, I bet it's humid too. Be like living in a sauna. Yeah, Jeff, be coming back in again in a minute. Jay, I don't know if you got the monitor in front of you there or not. Neil says that all the flooding rain has turned into steam.
What did you say?
I said, Neil has said that all the flooding rain has turned into steam.
What did you say before that?
Oh, Jeff.
Or something?
No, Jeff might be sitting there waiting. He was resetting.
Oh, no. I haven't got it in full screen. But besides the fact the fumes are kicking me out of my own shed at the moment, so that's why I'm trying to dry it out a bit.
Yeah. No, I said I wasn't sure where your monitor was, that was all. Didn't know whether you could see it where you are or not. Geez, I might be able to see now that I've cleaned my glasses. Whoa. I've got to go and have some lunch.
Yeah,
Guy?
it started raining now.
Oh, all right. I'll be back half an hour or so.
Yeah.
But just keep working gently on it, and don't be surprised if it splits, all right? Could be a frustrating exercise, this one.
I know where I'll be in half an hour anyway.
Yeah, all right.
Bugger off. Go on then. You two can hold hands and sing in the rain, Neil.
So what you been up to today?
Sorry, what was that?
What you been up to today?
Oh, not much. Since my lives start 2 hours earlier, I get out of bed, have breakfast, and then sort my piece of wood out so I can come out here and start it. So my day begins after these lives finish.
Oh, and you started, what, an hour ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the 9 o'clock at night our time. I'll have to set my alarm for that.
How about yourself?
Pretty good. We had the DAWG meeting today, which was really interesting because people were talking about what they had made lately in their shops, whether it was turning or not.
Oh, yeah.
We got to see all the people that had, different skills and talents that they had. Well, how is it, Mr. President, sir?
I had to reboot my PC. That was weird. But I'm okay. Doing good.
Looks like it.
You're looking good?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I was back in the hospital a couple days ago just for four appointments.
Yeah.
Everybody that saw me when I was there had to do the updates to their charts.
Uh-huh.
And but nobody could reschedule the second follow-up on the same day because they're also students. But then again, they are just a typical doctor student. Maybe they are, but they're all specializing. They're all MDs to begin with. They're specializing in different specialties, of which I happen to hit them in, like cardiology.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever they call the shrink, the brain doctors.
Oh, neurologist.
Neurologist.
Yeah,
So
neurosurgeons. Yep.
We had the specialist that teaches and then the student.
Okay.
And they have to schedule the appointments because it's a teaching hospital. So it fits both of their calendars, the professor and the doctor. Because the professor kind of sits across the room and listens in and watches.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's a teaching hospital. I don't mind.
Yeah.
They got to learn somewhere. And if you have two MDs looking after what's going on, you get two doctors for the price of one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your day been, Jeff?
Been good. My wife is up at her mother's. She went up yesterday. Her mom was supposed to have a root canal this morning, and they got in there and they found out it was so much more worse, and found an infection, and they said that she's got to get into a specialist. And so Judy spent all day on the phone with the dentist, also with her on the phone, tracking down a specialist who would see her any sooner than 2 months because she's in a lot of pain. And they managed to schedule something for Monday, so my wife is going to be there for an extra couple days. So
that's good. At least they got it in quick, nice and quick. There's nothing worse than a toothache.
Yeah, so what they got to do is they got to pull the tooth, and they got to replace they got to do a bone graft in her jaw.
Okay.
And yeah, that doesn't sound like fun. Then in 2 months, when everything's healed up, then she'll have a tooth implanted.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty full-on, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to. It sounds horrible to me. I just didn't want to say that to her.
Yeah.
Because her mom turns 89 in June. So.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, they built them strong back then, didn't they, Doc?
So it was kind of busy today. I was out in the yard dethatching the front lawn and raking everything up, and just You know, I got a full summer of a lot of yard work trying to reclaim everything.
Yeah.
Exercise for being shut in.
Yeah, I posted a picture out on my Facebook of a sugar maple bowl that I turned. It was a lady back in the fall gave me a log, and I'm getting 4 bowls out of it. And the first one I turned for, and she wanted to give it to a friend who lives up by the cottage where she took it down from, because her friend always took care of the cottage for her and everything. So she gave her that bowl, and she said, "When can you have another bowl ready for me?" I said, "It's going to be about 6 months. They got to dry." You know? So I just happened to pull it out Tuesday. Just, I pulled out a bunch of bowls from my shelf just to check them, and it wasn't registering. So on the meter, so I threw it on the lathe and I finished it. It came out real nice, and I got it over to her just before she took off for the cottage.
Perfect timing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So now you're bacheloring it.
I'm bacheloring it. Yep.
That means you got to pick up the beer cans and the candy wrappers and the popcorn that have to
Yeah,
get away
pretty
from
much.
you.
Yep, pretty much.
Is the,
in the dirty
is the party
socks.
at Jeff's house today?
And you know what? It wasn't good planning. I didn't even have anything to drink tonight. So, but that's okay. So tomorrow I'll be meeting with Cindy Yates for lunch, and then when I get home, I'll be down in the shop turning. So, and I'm working on building a drum sander jig for my lathe, for my segmented turning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't
A
afford
flat
one.
plate, a sanding
Yeah.
plate.
Yep. I can't afford one, and I don't even have room for one if I could afford it. So I'm going to build one for the lathe.
Yeah. I've got one. Haven't used it in a while though, because I haven't had room to get my table saw out to use it. It's kind of buried in the garage. My shop got cut in half a year ago.
Ah,
Person that I live with decided he wanted to store a bunch of other stuff in the other half, but hasn't done it yet.
No one's seen that, did they?
what's that?
No one's seen that, did they? Awesome. No one's seen it. Awesome. I like that. That means it didn't happen if no one's seen it.
Oh,
I have no idea what you're talking about. So it didn't happen.
This wood is very, very brittle,
Yeah.
and it just did what Robbo and I knew it was going to do.
become two
Exploded.
pieces almost.
Yeah,
Oh, what kind of wood is it?
Australian oak.
Oh, okay.
Very
Killed
dry.
Oh, look at that.
There was meant to be a captured ring on there, and it didn't quite work out.
No. Wood will do what it wants to do.
On the end grain bits.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've got 2 handles now.
Yeah.
Design
Well,
change.
the bowl had a mind of its own. Most wood does.
They do.
If you don't do what it wants, it'll act up.
Yeah, they will tell you what they want to be.
Yeah, I nearly got the whole ring cut off too. Such a shame.
Yeah.
Oh well, back to the glue factory. See if I can save what I've already got left. Oh nope, that piece is moving too. Alright. I had a feeling it was going to do this, so it's not really a surprise. It's a bit annoying, but it's not really a surprise.
No, I wouldn't think so. Australians have, in history, at least of the culture, is that they've never done what they wanted to have other people do. They left England on purpose to find something better. They didn't want to become English slaves. Maybe it's in the soil once you get there. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's in the air.
Oh, the English lost a big name today. Prince Philip.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
This morning while Wayne was on
Yeah.
his live, I got a flash notice on the news. I have MSNBC and ABC News do a flash notice for me on my phone, what they
Hmm.
consider flash. And it popped up, both of them almost instantaneously.
Oh, wow.
So I posted it on Wayne's live. They hadn't heard it yet. We heard before they did,
Oh,
but they
wow.
weren't on the radio.
Yeah.
They were all watching.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to hit it just right. I used to, when I first moved out on my own, I had a alarm, a radio alarm, and it was the tube style. So, you'd hear the loud click, and then as the tubes warmed
Yeah,
up, then the music started. And
yeah.
I woke up one morning to the loud click, and as the sound came up, it was an announcement that John Lennon was assassinated. And
Ah,
I have not had a radio alarm since then. I don't want to wake up the news like that.
yeah. Well,
No.
the phone come up with it first, and then Alexa came up with it within a minute or so, because
Oh,
I have it set for news flashes, and that's emergency ones also included in that hunt list, like tornado or crime in the area, that type
yeah.
of thing. Police,
I was watching
find a
all the
lost
new.
kid.
Yeah, I was watching all the news reports and everything about him over the last month or so, and I was thinking, boy, this isn't good. This could be it. And I was thinking he wasn't going to make it to 100, and he missed it by 2 months.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'll put it on mute.
No, it's interesting following the global news now that we become a global community
Yeah, yeah.
more so. But it's surprising because, like the others that live here, other than the kids, the other two adults, they're more local oriented. They don't care what goes on even in Detroit.
Hmm.
It's just their job and the club they go to, why they can't go anymore.
Yeah.
We got a bar at the corner of our street. There's a few in the chain, but it's one that the kids kind of like, because when they get off their school bus, they can look right through the door in the summer months and see the topless dancers.
Hmm.
So they're always shooing the kids away. It's school bus time and they close the doors.
Uh,
But they have the barbecue outside with proper distancing and that. So it's still a community thing where people in the neighborhood walk to it to get a burger.
hmm.
You order on your phone outside and tell them what spot you're sitting on at the table.
Oh, yeah.
And then they bring it out and put it at the head of the tent they've got with the big number on it, and then you can go pick it up.
Okay.
But it's still a place people can get together, and they've got the plexiglass inside
Hmm.
the tent between people.
Yeah.
And then the idiots that don't believe in it. It's been 2 months since I had both of my shots. That's pretty good.
Yeah. This Tuesday will be 2 weeks since my last shot. So, I'll be 100% then.
Yep. Yeah, Paul was able to come over when everybody was gone today. and except the kids, and they don't care
Mm-hmm.
to borrow some tools because he's got some bowls he wants to turn.
Which Paul?
Schultz.
Oh, okay. We have a lot of Pauls.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Popular
you saw
name
the.
even gets
Yeah,
sainted.
yeah, exactly. I don't know if you saw the Facebook post I put out, but Paul Johnson gave me 2 cherry burls,
Yeah.
and one was a pretty good size.
Yeah. I haven't turned a burl in years. They're not in my budget.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I certainly wouldn't go out and buy one. Um, and he turned some amazing stuff out of burl. I don't know how he's getting it, but I gave him some advice and stuff that helped him out and everything, and he returned the favor by sending me. I didn't even ask him. He just said, "My brother's coming home to Troy, and he's got 2 burls in the car for you." Well, so now I got to figure out what to do with them.
Well, just ask Sydney. Cindy, that's her specialty.
Cindy Yates?
Drozda.
Oh, Cindy Drozda. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've made all of her lives, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And those
Well,
that attend all of them get a special price.
Yeah. I was thinking the big burl I'll probably end up doing as a hollow form. It's just too nice to cut in half and make a couple bowls.
Why,
So
if you're going to hollow, you can always core it.
yeah,
You got a coring rig?
yeah, I got the Jameson.
Oh,
Oh, you're talking like a center saver.
yeah.
Oh, I've got the McNaughton.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yep. I've been doing a lot of hollowing lately. This has kind of been my year to get back to experimenting a lot with it. So that's why I was leaning towards that. Then the smaller one, I was thinking I might do a natural edge bowl or something with it.
Yeah. Well, I've been at that beta testing thing again, and we can talk about it now, though. Carter's coming out with a new tool.
Oh yeah.
It'll have their same handle, of which I like, the wooden one,
Mm-hmm.
and where you can actually change up the different tools you want to put in it.
Is
So
that
I
the
like
one
the
that
idea of cullets.
is that the one Ron Campbell has been talking about?
Yes, the
Okay,
wooden
I
one.
saw that on the AZ Carbide site.
Oh, the one that has the single bar and a dozen tips.
Yeah, yeah.
Because yeah, I've been testing in that, and I can talk about it now.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like a
That's
really nice tool.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If I could figure out, and I'm gonna talk to the Carter's new marketing director. I haven't met him. The other one retired on us, but
Oh,
the find out if they have a marketing outlet in Australia, because I'd like to get one off the J.
no, okay.
The only problem with it, and with me, it's not a problem at all because I like magnetic ashtrays or parts trays or whatever you want to call
Mm-hmm.
them. Though I do like the magnetic ashtrays more, they're still a cup, but they have the slight indentation,
Mm-hmm.
so you can sit your cigarette in it and it won't fall out,
Right.
to hold a cigarette or in place, because now you can sit a tool there.
Yeah.
And vibration from the lathe or pencil there that's aluminum, and
Mm-hmm.
it won't vibrate out. That's the only thing I like about having the ashtray version of them.
Oh, I've not seen a
Uh,
magnetic ashtray.
I haven't seen them in a while. They did have them at Harbor Freight
Oh.
years ago, and I picked up a couple of them, and then the round bowls.
Mm-hmm.
They're identical except that they've got the crease in the side.
Oh, okay.
But when people stopped smoking, well, stopped using ash-based smoke,
Mm-hmm. Right.
didn't need them anymore because the new ones that are vaping, they're steel and they'll stick in the regular one
Yeah.
and not vibrate out.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting, and I like the idea of being able to take the new tool and its tool bits and drop in there along with its wrench.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I would sell it as a set just for that purpose alone, because you
Yeah.
could lose the ends and especially the little Allen set screws to hold them in place.
Yeah.
You drop that in ashes, and now you've got a real problem. But you do anyway with carbide. But normally it's a dedicated tool handle, and you put them on somewhere else, shaft.
Yeah.
But now you change them, so that's the only drawback is you change it over a magnet.
That's good though.
Maybe it's just my age, and vision, but it's handy because I've had too many oops trying to get the little screw. I've learned you put it in the cutter first, put the wrench into the end, and insert the two together in the hole.
Right.
That procedure works.
I take mine over the table saw and I use the slot, the miter slot.
Ah, yeah.
Where'd Robbo
go? Breakfast.
Oh, okay.
He ought to be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
I think I've drafted up a few more out of state members people to attend our club from the DC area, at least one.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's active in the DAWG that came from, I think it was Colorado, and because of politics and family moving or whatever, she won't say, but she's now in the DC area.
Ah, okay.
And she attends the Maryland Woodturners. And,
sorry about that. The super glue is actually starting to irritate my head, like making my nose run and my eyes water.
Oh, it's nasty stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry?
It's nasty stuff.
Yeah. Especially when I've added nearly half a bottle, half of this bottle to the wood. And
you need to get a fan in there, Guy.
I got a fan.
You're sitting in a paint booth.
Yeah, basically, yeah, pretty much. How you going, Sid? So there you go, Sid. It was meant to have a ring on it, and it broke where the grain ends, and now it's a handled bowl. All right. It's knackered because this piece here is loose here. That wobbles there.
Wow.
That wobbles there. And there. And there. This whole piece, I can just basically just.
So all that CA glue and it didn't glue down.
Nah, the CA glue was to hold it from exploding like it did.
Okay.
Just because it's just prone to get splits in it. This wood. Put my glasses down inside and didn't grab them. Hang on a sec.
Yeah, I was busy in the shop when the DAWG meeting, the Tuesday, Friday one, And we have two teenagers, the one of which attended our meeting last time and loved it. He was talking about that right afterwards at our next meeting there in England. Him and Paul.
Oh, okay.
So the question came up, is there a youth membership price for members in our club? And I said I didn't know.
There isn't,
You know,
no.
like under 18, or are they full membership as kids, or does that fall under a family membership? Or
That would fall under a family membership because you got to have a parent there.
yeah,
So,
but online, that's a question.
I'm not
Because
gonna
the two
I'm not gonna
kids
can the
were,
live. I'm not gonna can the live, but I've got to disappear for about 10 minutes. Okay, so
okay.
you guys can continue chatting away.
yeah, and we're just a few miles apart that way.
Yeah, right.
But it's down there.
Right.
Actually, we're talking tomorrow. We're talking in the future.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, the conversation hasn't happened yet.
That's right. See if I remember
Hard
it
to
tomorrow.
get your head around.
It is. It is. Yeah.
But they were talking, the one that attended that had all the questions about sanding was commenting about that was the best wood turning club meeting he's attended.
Oh, cool.
Ours, and how he could ask questions and people would answer the questions.
That was the workshop that
seriously.
Alfred did. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
He
a great
was-
workshop.
Yes. He said that the name's Robert, and he said it's the best ever.
Awesome.
And, so it's like, can I come again next time? And Paul was saying, well, I don't know why not.
Now, I don't think we're going to have a workshop this month. I'm not certain because the 24th we would normally have it, and that's going to be the swap meet at Chuck's house. So we may not have a workshop this month. So with that, I may on another day do a Turner's talk. You know.
Yeah. If we can get word through Paul on that, the kids will pop up. That's for sure.
Yep.
Because they were saying it's the best that they've had.
Good. Good.
And it was interesting that people would answer their questions even though they were kids.
Well, you know, that's the only way we're going to keep the art going. So we got to teach these kids.
Yep.
Yep.
And the comment at the DAWG is that's really good. It's glad they're doing it because in a few years they'll discover something more interesting than wood turning.
Yeah. Yeah. Generally girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that Alfred did a great job with that because that is a subject that, you know, everybody hates sanding. And so they always take shortcuts with it. And that's just the one thing you can't do. You know, you just got to dummy up and get it done right. You know,
Yeah.
that or don't bother turning something in the first place because it's going to look like crap. And
that, or if you believe in robo, and a few of our members too, is if you cut it right, you don't have to sand it as much.
yeah.
It's
Yep.
tool control and sharpness.
Yep. I have not gotten there. I don't know if I ever will. I was glad to see Alfred talking about starting with 80 to get tool lines and stuff out because Alfred's one of those guys who can do that. He can take it down to where he starts with 320. But he kept it very general for people, and I like that. I really appreciated that.
Yeah. Because the one that attended was commenting, and he went on and on about the things that he had learned, and he went and tried it out right afterwards, and was busy and found that it really worked, and he was impressed, and had to show 2 or 3 pieces that he'd made.
Yeah, I actually did that trick with lacquer, spray lacquer. I had some end grain that I just could not get smooth out. I even took a carbide and took it at 45 degrees and went really slow. And it was tearing out. So I did the lacquer thing that Alfred showed us, and it worked beautifully.
Yeah.
So,
I got to find a decent lacquer to use that I can order online because I can't, without a car, I can't get anywhere.
well, I wonder if that place in Farmington that Alfred was talking about will do on order online. Jake Holtz or something like that, or Holtz.
Yeah.
Because he really likes that Mohawk lacquer. I'm stuck with Def because I bought 8 cans of it, so I'll be using that for a while. I found Amazon. One of the stores on Amazon had a sale on it once, and pack of 8, and it came out to be like a buck a can. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give that a try to see if I don't know if they'll ship.
Yeah.
FedEx can be so expensive.
Yeah. He's back.
Yes.
Hello, Robo. Oh, he's muted. There you are.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. I had to reboot my PC.
Oh,
I kept getting a thing telling me to restart my browser, and I did that 2 or 3 times, and still the camera wasn't coming up. So I just rebooted everything.
I had to do the same this morning. I'd been on a Skype meeting earlier on, and it wouldn't allow me to come in here.
Yeah.
So get rid of Skype or close it down.
Yeah. Skype can be sensitive.
Yeah. G'day, Sid, if you're still in the background there.
Jay said he'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's probably doing what I've just done. Had lunch.
Yeah.
And Bob looks like he's ready to go to sleep there.
I know that feeling. It's almost 11 o'clock here. And
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So
I've actually got it on my computer now. All I got to do is just go down to the corner and I can see what time Detroit and London is.
Yeah. So with daylight savings time ending, is this starting earlier every night then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for you it is, and 2 hours early for my time.
Okay.
There you go, Robbo.
Well, what? Yeah, how'd you go? Cracked it?
It broke out completely there and there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was a bit...
At the same time.
Yeah. It's always on that... It starts on the end grain, actually. It cracks out.
Yeah. Yep. So it's pretty much done it on the exact opposite sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost.
That's why I got you to put... That's why I told you to put CA on it to try and hold it together.
Yeah. Didn't work.
No.
Look. That's going to break off in a sec, that one. No, nothing I can do about it now.
No, you're probably better off doing it on an end grain type bowl and a normal type.
Yeah. It does look like a unique handle.
Yeah. That's what he was planning all along.
Yeah, shh, don't tell
What
anyone.
the wood wanted. Isn't it odd that here we're all hooked up talking tomorrow with 2 members living in tomorrow, Jeff,
Yeah.
and we're all members of the same woodworking club,
Right.
diagonally through the world.
I'll surprise you one day and I'll rock up personally to a meeting, all right?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. We'd need a translator.
Aye. That'll be enough out of you, thanks.
He just got to get used to the slang.
No, he's got to get used to
Every
our.
culture has its own slang.
He's got to get used to our slang.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We'd need a translator from you lot.
Yeah.
Geez, I tell you what, that nearly came close to coming out of there, didn't it?
Yes, it was about a millimetre or two around the bottom end for actually coming off.
Yeah.
Yep.
But at
I'll be
least
right back.
now you know how to go about it. Good day, Chris.
How you going, Chris? Yes.
Howdy.
I'm doing the hit. This is how not to do it. That's what I'm doing.
No, this is an educational program.
Oh, I tried to put some glue in there to hold it, but
No, you won't.
I was down.
You're better off breaking it right out
Oi,
and just putting a groove in it.
go back and have your lunch. Even the
What
bird
kind
didn't
of
like
bird is that?
Minor bird. They're specifically called noisy minor birds here.
Oh, here they're expensive.
Okay, that's not cool, man.
I had a friend that years ago that had 2 miners and had to have a big cage. That was the biggest expense for him. But when I heard he paid $750 a piece for them, I thought he was out of his mind. But he loved birds.
Well, we can come over and grab these mongrels. They're annoying.
Well, I think that's one reason he kind of did it, because he wanted to get rid of a roommate that he wanted to be polite on, but didn't want to tell him to get out. So he got a noisy bird, and that was the noisiest ones. And they're beautiful birds.
What kind of bird is that?
A minor bird.
It's called if you look up noisy minor bird, you might have more of a chance of finding it than just minor. They've got they're grey. They've got a dark underneath, and they've got like a yellow ring that goes around their eyes.
Oh.
They're pretty distinctive bird.
Mm-hmm.
Like the crows and magpies here love to eat their fledlings. You know, they're just straight out of the egg.
Oh, really?
So generally, when you can hear them squawking like that, it's because there's a prey bird around somewhere.
Okay.
We've got a tree out the front, a 40-foot rubber tree, and the minor birds breed prolifically in that, and that's where the crows go and sit, right at the top of that tree. So,
I think they're called an Indian miner, aren't they, Joe?
yeah, something like that. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody pest.
Yeah. To say the least.
It was nearly a ring.
Yeah.
Well,
Getting close.
that can be the handle on a cup.
Yep. A very brittle handle, but yeah.
They're a brittle handle, yeah.
Nearly made a circle again.
Or you could make some very, very thin horns for a hat, like a Viking hat.
Yeah. All right, I'll send them to you. Now that just looks shit.
My windowsill at work is breeding grounds for birds all day. It's like a love shack.
Mm.
As long as you don't get turned on by it, Chris, you'll be right.
Wrong love shack, Robbo.
Just watch out any CA doesn't come flying out of that, Jay.
Yeah, that's not pleasant. Don't ask me how I know.
Mm. Now, if you want to feel real pain, get CA under your fingernail and accidentally hit it with hardener.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. That's when you get the MEK out and stick your finger in the can.
Yeah. I actually had a cut on my hand about a month ago, and I was working with some CA, working on a pen, and I got some in that cut. Man, did that sting.
I don't think they fixed that since NOM, because I got cut 2 or 3 times, and that's what the medics pulled out was the CA. But that's
Yeah.
what it was invented for.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
I
crushed
know.
the end of the tube, and it was a glass cylinder or sleeve, and you crushed the end, and it would run out right in the through capillary action as you run it along the cut.
Yeah.
And they'd say pinch it together, and they glue it up.
Yeah. I've known many
Now,
woodturners that repaired their cuts that way in their shop, and it just kept on working.
yeah. No, it was in NOM that I got. They didn't call it CA; they had something else for it. But later on,
Yeah.
found out that's what it was. And it was CA. It's just they had a different name for it for the
Right.
medics there. They had to have something quick. Pinch it together, glue it up, and throw them on a chopper.
Yeah. I had a lady at a show once, and she bought a couple pens off me. She goes, "How'd you get these so shiny?" And I said, "Cyanoacrylate." She went, "What?" I said, "Cyanoacrylate." She goes, "What the hell's that?" And I go, "Super glue." Then she just kind of looked at me. She goes, "Super glue?" And I go, "Oh yeah, lots of coats."
Yeah.
And then she bought 2 more pens. She thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I got looking at some of the stock I got, and I think I got probably about 400 pen blanks.
Oh really?
Because when Terry Williams passed away, he had willed all his uh, pen blanks and stock and wood to me.
Oh wow.
So it was all in a couple of big tubs. And I've sorted it out a couple of times and separated it and say, well, someday,
Mm-hmm.
I got a pen press and all that. Because I got him into turning and it was in his will that was mine.
Well, that was great. That was great. I was sorry when I heard he passed away. I like Terry.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was
Well,
his sister got a fortune on the
yeah.
lawsuit.
What was the lawsuit for?
Well, he went in with a heart problem. He'd had
Oh,
minor, and he had what was it? Glycerin tablets
uh-huh.
that if he had a problem that he would take, and that
Yep.
was kept very quiet. But I'd known him for probably 15, 20 years. We've been friends. All the way back to Gary Gygax days. If you're a D&D person, he's the guy that invented it.
Oh, okay.
So, and the Moog, the synthesizer
Mm-hmm.
that was done in, yeah, Terry knew him well. They shared
Oh.
a building together and played D&D together
Oh, wow.
in downtown Detroit, walking distance from Wayne State, in an old Kresge store. The Gygax built the Moog.
Yep.
But it was interesting because he was in the hospital because he had heart problem, and he had taken the glycerin and drove himself into the hospital, and they did the testing on him and said, we're going to keep you under observation for the night, and then we need to transfer you. It was there in Royal Oak at the hospital there, and we're going to transfer you to Oakwood, or we're going to get you out to Ann Arbor. And they were waiting on an ambulance to do the long haul transit because he had to be on oxygen and something else. They had to have a heart monitor running at the time. So it was a specialty long distance transport. So he was waiting in his room, and shift change, and some nurse that was coming on duty got paperwork mixed up and said, well, you're supposed to be discharged. Well, that's true, but only to the ambulance company that was transporting him.
Yeah.
They sent him home.
Oh, geez.
And then the ambulance people came to get him and pick him up, the specialty ambulance, and they couldn't find him anywhere. And then they found out that he'd been sent home, and he'd simply got home and sat down in the easy chair waiting and died in the chair.
Oh, geez.
Because they had him on a pacemaker, the machine that goes ping.
Yep.
In those days, they weren't portable that much, on a post that kept track of the heart going. And his sister is an attorney. I've known her since she was little, too. She nailed the hospital for a wrongful death.
Good. Boy. Yeah, I like Terry. He was a good guy.
Yeah, it was really a shame. It's all he had was they were going to put a pacemaker in.
Yeah.
They'd already ordered the pacemaker. It was to go with him. They just couldn't do it at the hospital there in Royal Oak where he lived.
I'm surprised because they got that big heart center there now.
Yes, but
because my wife has been there for her
years
heart.
Ago.
Yeah,
12, 13,
my wife was
years ago. It happened.
Matter of fact, that's where my wife got her pacemaker. She got the pacemaker defibrillator combination.
Oh.
And that actually happened New Year's Eve 2018, the last day of the year. And we joke around about it. It's the first time since I've known her. I've known her since the mid-'80s. We got married in '88. But it's the first time since I've known her that we did not spend New Year's Eve together. We always have champagne and toast when the ball drops. And and I always joke that we watch New Year's Not So Rockin' Eve. Because it hasn't been rocking a long, long time.
These days, I think I'm probably in bed by the time 12 o'clock comes around on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Unless we've got friends around, but. And Chris said the accelerator burns the cut worse than the CA. Yeah, I know, Jay. I know how you feel with that CA stuff. Even in my shed, it hurts my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm not doing any more. It's just.
Yeah, no, don't go near it until tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, screw up your lungs real fast.
Yeah, I don't need that. I've got asthma stuff.
I always wear a paint respirator when I'm doing CA. Even the Parfix, which doesn't have any fumes, I just don't want to risk it because it's
going right through this.
Yeah, see, that won't do it. You need like the 3M half mask with the big thick pads on them. Yeah. That's the only thing that really protects you. Won't protect your eyes. Yeah. But it'll help with the lungs. In 2005, I got Legionnaires, and that was the longest 9 weeks of my life. I thought I was dead a couple times. And they finally figured out what it was. When they figured out what it was, it was a very easy fix. There's just one antibiotic that'll take care of it. And when I started taking the antibiotic, I was fine in 3 days. but that 9 weeks, that was just absolutely awful. And but my lungs have been damaged by that, and they're impacted. So I have to be real. I always wear a respirator in the shop. I never turn without. So when I did the demo for the club last month, I didn't have a respirator on, and I was having some issues with just the dust in the air because as much dust collection as I have in my little shop, there's still enough dust in the air just from moving around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
yeah. Even when I go down just to work on my, I use my table saw as a bench. If I'm down there just putting stuff together or gluing something up, I've got a mask on. Yeah.
Yep.
It's called the flat surface syndrome, that.
That's right.
And at the moment, I've got a 40-foot bench.
That's a nice bench.
Yeah. Oh, it's great for clamping down things and this and that.
Yeah.
Like the bed has a lot of clamping points on it.
Yeah. While you were away, I was telling Robert, I need a drum sander because I'm doing segmented turning, and I can't afford one, and I don't even have room if I could afford one. So I'm building one of those jigs to turn my lathe into a drum sander.
Yeah, they seem to work pretty well, actually, if you get everything set up properly.
Just got to be careful with the fingers.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
I'll make you sick. I've got a 2244 drum sander. Best thing, one of the original Power, not a Powermatic, I forget what it was called, before Jet took it over anyway.
Mm-hmm. I've got a lot around here that are for sale and used, but these guys want as much for them used as they would new.
Yeah.
There's a Jet out there right now. It's a 16-incher, and he wants $995 for it. It's a 2009. He wants $995 for it. It's $1,500 brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To use a good Australian expression, tell him he's dreaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you got a variable speed sander on the lathe.
I do. Yeah.
And you can reverse it. And you can't on the regular sander.
Actually, that's how I'm going to use it. I'm going to have a reverse so that it's turning towards my dust collection. So I'll have the cone right in front of it, the big hood.
That's how I do mine. And I've got a full overhead one that had the double filters. And it's directly over the lathe, and just behind it enough so as you can see the dust go straight up that misses the intake from the.
And with those drum sanders, you definitely need dust extraction on them. The amount of dust that comes off them is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I mean, just when I'm sanding a bowl on the lathe, the amount of dust that comes off of it. And it always amazes me how much dust I get with 320.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
320, what's that?
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm
you
doing
start at 500 off the steel robo?
No, I've generally got to go back. I generally got to go back to about 120, believe it or not, because the polishers can't handle it if it's too polished.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We have to actually
sand it too much. We have
to sand the glaze off.
Yeah.
I learned that very early in the career. I'd been chasing this builder who did a lot of stair work around the district to do all his spindles and balustrading and stuff, Anyway, eventually he said, yeah, rightio. So he did 200 balusters for him. And, man, they glowed in the dark. They went right up to 400 and then were done with the shavings, 2 days later, I get a phone call. I had to install it all as well, so I installed it. 2 days later, I get a phone call. What the hell did you do with these balusters? And I said, why? He said, the stain just will not penetrate. It's just running off. He said, we can't get a stain on them.
Yeah.
So I had to go and pull them all out and destroyed 3 doing it, but and sand them at 120, and the painter was very happy about that.
Yeah.
But that taught me a lesson.
Forget that. Yeah. You got to leave a tooth for the finish.
Right.
Like veranda posts, we sand at 80, but Gritton just leave them at 80 because they're being painted anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and if you do it right, 80 grit's not a bad finish.
No, it's all right.
Yeah. So.
I haven't had to resort to the 16 that I've got in the shed. That's like a bluestone pitcher, you know.
Yeah, right.
All right, you're knocking on the head, are you, Jay?
Yeah.
Okie doke.
All
And
right. Thanks
we'll
everyone for
catch
coming
you
in.
tomorrow night.
Yep.
All right, see you later, everybody.
Take it
Okay.
easy.